Hi, Sue.
Hello.
How are you?
This is going to be a show. You know this. For the
I
two of
know
us
it is.
here.
We're excited.
So, all right, so let's this on the screen so we can see what we're doing here.
There you go. So I'm gonna let you guys get started. Once I see you're comfortable, I'm gonna pop out. But we'll let you take charge. But everybody, this is Richard and Sue Morgan. They're just delightful. So enjoy.
Hi, guys. We're going to try to make this happen without a whole lot of problems.
We're old.
I'm going to switch this around, I think. There we go. So my name's Richard Morgan. I'm a metal artist. I live in Wauseon, Ohio. We've been doing art for about 10 years now. And we actually set up a little bit of our art out in the drive just so we could display more of it, as you can see. We build a lot of mirrors and picture frames and just custom art that is unique and one of a kind. I use a lot of motorcycle parts. I use car parts. This one has a speedometer out of a 1956 Oldsmobile, I believe. And it's a heavy metal guitar is what I tell people, because it's pretty heavy. So let's see what else. So here's some flowers that we do. These are pretty incredible. These are our spring flowers, and they actually move in the wind when it's windy out. Unless Sue's blowing really hard there. She was trying to. Here's some frames. This top frame here is the first time I attempted to paint with a welder. It's an older piece. It has a light in it. And if you look really close at the welds, they're horrible looking. But that's just kind of what brings the art out and actually draws your eye to the piece even more, I guess. The piece on the side here, that's a rasp bar off of a combine. This one here we're looking at is an old window out of a house. And then we just get flowers in the back of it and put some barn siding and create a really nice wall hanging and a mirror at the same time. It's a Harley table. It's got an exhaust off of a Harley. The bottom piece is a disc off of a combine for tilling up the dirt, or a tractor. The top actually spins, and there would be a glass insert for that as well. So Sue is going to show you this fish here. What is the name of that fish, Sue?
The tiger fish.
That's the tiger fish. That also is repurposed exhaust off of a motorcycle. It's got some creepy looking eyes on him and some really wicked looking teeth, I guess. Yeah. Top one is that's pretty much horseshoes and cowhide. I do a lot of horse shows as well. Started out doing horse shows originally and got pulled into the art world. This bottom frame has a lot of different variety in it. It's got tin roofing, chain off of a combine, rasp bar, all kinds of metal. These frames usually are about 2 foot by 4 foot, and they can hang in either direction as well. Here's another fish.
That's his brother.
That's his brother. That is a scissor fish. If you look real close, those are scissors, fabric scissors. Moving down here. So these longer mirrors here with the holes, the circles in them, those are actually cast-offs from when I make my flower bases, like you see here on the ground. I cut that out of that plate, right? And then I cut the center out of the flower, and I use that for the top of my bells. And then this would be a cast off instead of throwing away, I just turn it into a mirror. So I'm using my materials 100% each time I make these. This top piece here, this is a custom frame for a art artist called Null. This is a rendering of it's an etching, and Salvador Dali had a gold cane commissioned as that being the handle to it. And so this is for sale as well. We have a bistro table here, some spinning bar stools with cowhide on the tops. There's a wine rack. So this is the gallery. This was originally at the end of 2015, this was a dirt floor barn. And we turned it into the welding shop for Richard Allen Studios, and then outgrew it in about 6 months. There's more to be seen. I'm just giving you a little perimeter of it. And then so I added on to my building and then turned this into just strictly the gallery. So here's a piano, harp out of a piano that I have converted into a coffee table. The legs are off of a combine. They're really, really incredible legs. I think the Guild actually has tables I made for them with the same type of legs up at the Guild. This here is a fire pit that's a custom order for a client up in Michigan. Sue was wondering if we could have a fire today, and I didn't think it'd be a good idea. And
Because I wanted s'mores.
she already had a fire on the grill today. Oh dear. Anyways, this is a rocking bench. One of my good clients gave me an old bed frame and decided to make a bench out of it. It's got a granite base. It rocks really, really nice. It's got stops so you can't go too far one way or too far the other. Hi, Sue. Oh, all right, so this is a horse sculpture that I finished up over the winter. He's got all kinds of parts in him, a motorcycle, a lot of horseshoes. He does move, so he's designed to go out into the wind a little bit. If you put him outside, and the wind should move him around and give him a little bounce action going on there. There's a porthole mirror. So this is a new series for me here. These are steel mirrors that are all pretty much the same size hole because that's what I'm using for my flower. And then I just use these as, instead of throwing them away, I turn them into small mirrors. And each one is unique and different. They're a lot of fun to make because everyone is different than the next. And it will fit anywhere, according to Sue. It's an angel wing cross that we make. This is a larger sculpture here. I'm going to back up a little bit. That's called Geared Up. You can see it very well or not. I'm sorry for shaking around so much. Some more flowers. This is a cowhide bench with a matching mirror. This mirror here is an older mirror. Doesn't usually go to a lot of shows. Originally, one of the first mirrors that I made outside of the borders, I guess you would call it. So it's got a lot of different pieces and parts hanging on it. The door, Sue, you want to show them how the door opens on it? Please. It's got a little door that hangs and opens up on it. It says mail on it.
She's like the lovely Vanna White.
Yes, she is, isn't she?
She is.
There's another mirror here that it's got hardwood flooring on the panels. So I repurpose anything I can find. I try to repurpose it, especially when the price is right. And it turns into something that just sits around for a while. Then I actually just find inspiration and create. This is a larger sculpture. This is fairly new. I think I had it at the end of last year. It's the Eye of the Storm. Here's a steering wheel table. I think that's out of an Oldsmobile too. And yes, we can make Ohio State bells. I think I've made one for Karen's significant other. Here's a larger piece. So this is the back window out of an old Bronco. And I just used the window and put a black mirror, is what they call it, in there. And then a little gate on the back of it. This here is a larger cowhide mirror. It actually has, could be a headboard as well, but it actually has this tin right here on the side is off of this building. When I add it on, I saved the tin, and so it's got a piece of us going out with it. And the metal here at the bottom, this is off of an old car that I found out in the woods. Here's some guitars. This is a guitar with a speedometer off of a Japanese motorcycle. Here's another guitar with some Harley covers on it. And the top pieces, those are off of a combine as well. This is a praying angel that I made out of horseshoes. What else do we have? So this piece here, this is called Hanging in the Balance, and I've had it for quite a while. It's an original piece from years ago. And normally it would have a bird's nest hanging inside of this. And the reason I call it Hanging in the Balance is because, you know, our life is so fragile. And this is my interpretation of the universe, I guess, but it's a steel universe. We're spinning around right now as we're recording. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So here's some information. It's got my website at the bottom, and Facebook is richardallenstudios.com, Richard Allen Studios. This is a weapon that I made here. This is a gun. Doesn't work functionally. It does spin. It's got the bullets hanging out of it up here. Some crosses that I make. These are shelf brackets, really incredible chain shelf brackets that I make. My materials, so I'm a scavenger. I go all over the place for materials. I go to motorcycle shops. I go to manufacturing facilities. John Deere.
Gone in a dumpster before?
I dumpster dive a lot.
Legally?
Yes. These are more parts. So these are off of a combine. This would have a glass top on it as well. Spinning tabletops. These are spinning motorcycle rims. These are new for me last year. I've only made a few of them though. What else do we got going on? Okay, this is a really cool piece. This is a mirror this is made out of a pallet racking. And then I inserted mirrors into the inside of the racking so you can actually see reflections when people walk up on it. And they're angled towards the person, so you can see a lot of motion when you walk. Now this is Beamer. So Beamer is made out of an I-beam and motorcycle parts. My background, I've got about 35 years in the welding trade. I worked for the same company for 35 years. And through this, we lost our son in 2008. About 2010, I found myself in the garage, pounding metal. And here we are today. this is a window out of a church, a 100-year-old window. It's got LED lighting behind it. It's from Cleveland, Ohio area. Another guitar here in the back. I do a lot of weapons too. That's an old battle axe. Its name is, I won't say. Saw blade, clock. This is a neat piece. So this is new for me. If you look really close, that's a face with some eyes. This is an older part here. This is called city art, and these are supposed to be like buildings and high rises, apartments. My interpretation of it in metal. So these are more of the windows that I had. I got 20 some windows out of a church, probably about 6, 7 years ago. And I repurposed some of the glass, and I have the frames, and I just used the frames for wall hangings. And then all of the railing pieces you see here, those are actually from down in Alabama at a scrapyard that I went to when we were visiting our daughter. I bought 161 of those. There's a Fulton County, Ohio. That's where we reside. This here's another guitar. This is a Corvette hubcap off of a Corvette turned into a guitar. Here's some more of your metal mirrors cut out. This is the Elephant Man. He's made out of motorcycle parts. Those are cylinders off of a motorcycle and exhaust. And so I get inspired by a lot of different ways, and I guess it all goes back to it's a form of therapy for me. So I just you know, it really, sometimes the pieces talk to me, and other times I create for other people, and then I get a windfall from that too, because then it challenges you in different areas that you're not usually used to. These are some of our flowers. These are, I think I developed these probably 4 years ago by now, made out of silverware and knobs. So then the one thing we passed up here was a lot of bells. I saw a lot of bells. The colored ones are new for me this year. They're hydro dipped. I don't know if anybody's ever done any hydro dipping, but it's basically spray painting. Oh, Sue's got some boots there. So she's got some boots that she hydro dipped at the same time.
My daughter did.
Anyways, so you put the paint in the water, and then you dip the whatever you want to paint inside of the tank, and it comes out all colorful. So that's what those are all about. Starting to make some with different faces on them now. These brackets here, so this bracket would be given away with it. That hangs the bell. I give those away for free. The bells, they're normally $125. Right now I'm selling them for $100 a piece. And the other thing they can be is chimes. So if like this one is set up right now with a bracket on the bottom that I put in a different clanger, and then the wind will catch this piece. See, the wind will catch this piece and blow it around for you. These are made out of high pressure cylinders for welding, for oxygen, for helium. I have some out here in the shop that we can show you. Oh, I had one other thing here I wanted to show you, actually. This is a strut table. So these are new for me. It's got a spinning top as well. Let me spin that for you. I also make stools with these struts for, you know, you put in your guy's garage or man cave or wherever. They're pretty neat. Okay, we're going to walk out here to the shop, and then I'm going to let Sue start taking over. And she is going to, oh, there's more bells. Look at that. She's going to film some of my welding, and then also just show you the raw materials that I've collected, keeping in mind this winter, you couldn't even walk through here. There was 2 rabbit trails on both sides. And my daughter came back over Christmas, and we hauled about 13 loads of stuff out of here. So here's Sue's going to take over while I do a little welding.
He never lets me be in charge. It's kind of fun.
So we're going to make a little mask today. Real simple project. I had some pieces already made up a little bit, so it didn't take me a lot of time. Why don't you show them the bells?
Okay. Like you said, he just started doing these bells this year. And so any color you can possibly imagine is going to be on there. My only thing is we don't always mix the blue and gold, you know, but we could if we needed to. Just saying. Cookies, yeah, they're in the house. You want to come over and grab some? See the orange ones. He is a troublemaker, but it's okay. And this is back his organization, which it really is. He's got different motorcycle parts, which will turn into tables. And then he's got places of raw material that he'll use, like he'll know for faces. He always wanted to have a scrapyard of cars, and I never wanted him to, and then this came about. So I guess he still got his way. Let's see. I really don't know what's all back here, but it's all, he's laughing. It's all different materials that he does turn into crazy art. Let's see. You hear the sparks flying. And that was a stand there he was making for one of his bells for a client. And there's glass mirrors that he'll do something with, as he tells me he will. Let's see. Are you done, hon?
Almost.
He wants me to learn how to weld now that I'm off work. So that could be a good or bad thing. He tried to teach me how to drive a stick shift, and that didn't go so well. So I might let him help me learn how to weld.
So that's just a simple face made out of an old shovel. These are out of a motorcycle. Some bolts. This is actually a steel toe, the end of a shoe that had a steel toe in it. That's part of a horseshoe. This is a large piece of chain that I had, and then this is just a piece off of a combine. I used it for a different sculpture and just decided to not use it, so I saved it anyways. There's times that I repurpose my own art, so if I don't like it, it comes apart and I reuse it for something else.
So Richard, you've done some really amazing custom projects lately. Are you comfortable sharing some of those with everyone?
Do you have any in mind?
The ones that you've done.
Yep. Didn't you just do for the Toledo art?
So I did a really cool bench for the what was the name of the place? I'm sorry, Imagination Station over in Toledo, and they commissioned a piece through Myers, and then I ended up getting it, and it was all made out of a Model A or Model T car frame with a straight axle and motorcycle parts, and it turned out to be a great.
So they can see you.
I could. She wants you guys to see me, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't work.
Yeah,
You broke my phone. Oh
we'll
my
see.
gosh.
Anyway, so it turned out to be a really cool piece. I've done a picture frame for an $85,000 painting about 2 years ago, which turned into some work that I was telling you about earlier. I've done clients' entire basements. I've done kitchens. I do cabinets. So I try not to limit myself I do functional art and non-functional. And I really like both, but I think my preference is non-functional. I like the sculptures. I rent sculptures out to different cities. I have 4 going out again this year that'll be posted on my website, their GPS location. And there's a few more sculptures out here. How much time do we have, Karen?
You have about 2 minutes, so you're good.
How much?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. So this is the front of our building. I can't really see because the sun's bright, but this is a newer sculpture here. It is a chime. The guy in the middle there, it's a cylinder, a larger cylinder. I have a set of 4 14-footers that I'm planning on working on to hang out in my front yard and turn into chimes. This is a large, I do a lot of these looks like the sun type sculptures. I don't know what draws me to it, but I always have. And you can see more of my collection of junk out in front of my building. And the building's also repurposed. So all the materials on the outside are seconds, and they're all different colors, obviously. This is the newest piece, I think, that I've made right here. It's an old wheel and some covers off of a Harley, and there's rebar. The swirly piece is off of a combine. So that's pretty much where we're at. We got the chance to clean our studio and gallery out for you guys. So it really is sparkling.
It looks amazing.
Well,
So
thank you.
I encourage people to follow you on social media because you're always posting such interesting things and the projects that you have going. And so you can really see the expanse of your work and how different, all the different things that you'll do. I'm still amazed sometimes. And I get to see a lot of what you do on a regular basis. And you were just posting pictures of stuff you were doing in that house. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, so I encourage people to follow you. It's Richard Morgan Studios on Facebook, right?
Richard Allen Studios, ALAN.
Yep. Sorry. Richard Allen Studios on Facebook. And then share your website again so everybody knows where they can go find you.
Yep, that's going to be right here. I'll zoom in on it. So the website is richardallenstudios.com, just right down here.
Yep.
I'm going the wrong way. I can't see it. There you go.
So Brian's been on here and he's given you a lot of trouble. He's the one who's been picking on you. So
Is it?
Brian.
Oh, really?
yeah, he's on there now. He pretty much wants everything. So be forewarned.
Well, you guys ought to stop down here and check this place out.
Yeah, we really need to.
Around, right?
Yep. Okay, you guys stay safe. Thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys, and thanks for everything. And everybody out there, remember, just social distance and stay safe.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Miss
Okay.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.